Hey, welcome to Creatures of the Realm, everyone. This is Henry Knight, episode 44. We have a great show for you tonight. Tonight, we're going to go over the Golems. What is a Golem? How does a Golem work in your campaign? And I'm going to go over the weaknesses of a Golem. There's many classes and aspects of the Golems. So we're going to go over the Clay Golem first. Before that, I want to remind everyone that tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, we have a big game, the continued story, Drow City, story arc for Campaign 2. Join us to Playerole. My guys and I, we're going to have a good time. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central. Well, let's start off with the Golem. What is a Golem? What do they do? Golems are made from humble materials. There is a clay, a flesh, bone, iron, or stone. They possess astonishing power and durability. Golems have no ambitions, no needs for sustenance, feels no pain, and knows no remorse. An unstoppable juggernaut. It exists to follow its creator's orders, and it protects or attacks as a creator demands. To create a Golem, one requires a manual of Golems. The comprehensive illustration and instructions in the manual detail the process for creating a Golem of a particular type. So, if you are in need to create a Golem, all power to you. Let's go over the mighty clay Golem. And I'm going to put up the aspect of the Golem, the different, abilities and so forth on the community tab for Playerole. You guys could vote. Which is your favorite Golem? What do you think? All that type of thing. It'll be up there, and it'll be a lot of fun. All right, let me check my numbers here, making sure I'm good. Okay. So far, everything looks good. Okay, so let's go over the Golem, the Clay Golem. The Clay Golem has an armor class of 14, natural armor. It's a construct. It's unaligned. Again, I said in the beginning of the introduction, the Golems are made, and the creator of that Golem tells the Golem what to do. The main ability of a Golem, if you look at the strength going to charisma, the strength is 20 plus 5, which is amazing. Dexterity is pretty low. Constitution is high. Obviously, these Golems are beefy. They're constructs, remember that. Their intelligence and wisdom and charisma are very low. Damage immunity. Here is where it gets pretty tough. Damage immunity, acid, poison, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't adamantine. What does that mean in D&D talk? Well, the Golem obviously is immune to acid, psychic, bludgeoning, and piercing. Bludgeoning means more of a physical attack. Piercing, more of a blade or a dagger of some kind. Poison, you're ingesting, touching, you can get poisoned. And psychic is mentally attacks to the creature. And it is immune, construct. It is immune to these properties. So remember that when you are using a Golem. Condition immunity, charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, and poisoned. Let's look at the charm. The charmed has an advantage on any ability check to interact with you socially. The charmer, remember that. Poisoned. Ability checks and attack affected. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. There you go. Condition immunities. And they're all highlighted there. Okay, so senses, dark vision, 60 feet, Languages understands the language of the creator, but cannot speak. Challenge rating of 9, 5,000 XP. Pretty beefy. Let me check my numbers, making sure I'm good here. Now, what I mean by that is I'm checking, making sure the stream is still going, because Facebook and sometimes social media, the connection sometimes gets cut off. So if I get cut off, I'll return, and hopefully you can see the rest of the show. Okay, so we're good there. So we were talking about the challenge rating of 9, 5,000 XPs. Acid absorption. Sorry. It absorbs acid. How about that? Whenever the golem is subjected to acid damage, it takes no damage and instead regains a number of hit points equal to acid damage dealt. Hence, is clay. Okay, so Berserk. It goes Berserk with 60 hit points or fewer. Basically, if he has low hit points, he's got around 60, he's going to go Berserk. You roll 6. On a 6-sided, the golem goes Berserk. The golem attacks the nearest creature to it. It can see. If no creature is near enough to move to an attack, the golem attacks an object. So, whatever's nearby, he attacks and goes Berserk. Rah! Okay. Immutable form. The golem is immune to any spell effect that would alter its form. Magic resistance. The golem has advantage over saving throws against spells and magical effects. Magical weapons. The golem's weapon attacks are magical. Actions. The golem has 2 slam attacks. Fist. It's a clay golem. So slam. +8 to hit. A reach of 5. 2d10 plus 5. Bludgeoning damage. You gotta make a con save of 15. And if you make it, if you make the con save, well, it says here, DC 15 con save, or have its hit point max reduced by an amount equal to the damage taken. The target dies if the attack reduces its hit points. Maximum to 0. The reduction lasts until removed by greater restoration spell. Pretty deadly. That attack is pretty deadly. Haste. On a 5 or 6, it has haste. What does that mean? To the end of the next turn, the golem magically gains a +2 bonus to AC. And his AC is 14, so he jumps from a 14 to a 16, giving him that extra beefiness, which makes him a very dangerous adversary. Okay. We are on time. Okay, so let's take a look at the clay golem. What are the good things? Resistance to magic. It has a massive attack. It's called slam attack. And of course, you have to succeed a DC of 15, or its hit point maximum reduced by an amount equal to the damage taken. The target dies if the attack reduction to hit point max to 0. The reduction lasts until removed by greater restoration. Big deal. Haste. Haste is another good thing about the golem. On a 5 or 6, gets +2 AC. So you have your attack, you have your haste, your ability, your powers. I want to call that powers, because abilities here in D&D are your stats. So his powers, he's pretty beefy. Haste on a 5 or 6 gives him a +2 AC. He's immune to poison, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing damage. Non-magical attacks don't do diddly squat. So that's really cool. And it gives you a good challenge rating, a good challenge. The clay golem has a lot of good qualities. What are the bad qualities? Again, intelligence. It has this berserk. You go like the description of the berserk, you roll 6-sided, you get a 6, he goes berserk. But if there's no one near him, he goes to anything closer to him. So if he sees this wall, he's going to go up to the wall and hit it, because he's a construct. That's what he does. Okay, so anyways, that being said, you all know that good qualities is his attack, his beefiness, his hit points is 133. Those are the good things. The bad thing is his intelligence, wisdom, charisma are very low. They're very negative. And that, again, if you got a good spellcaster, a good cleric, and a cleric that has greater restoration, unfortunately, is a higher level spell. If your cleric is low, be very careful. Don't get near the clay golem. With good strategy, you can really beat this this large construct. Okay, next up, a flesh golem. A flesh golem is a grisly assortment of human body parts, stitched, bolted together into a muscled brute imbued with formidable strength. Its brain is capable of simple reason, though its thoughts are no more sophisticated than those of a young child. The golem's muscle tissue responds to the power of lightning, invigorating the creature with vitality and strength. Powerful enchantments protect the golem's skin, deflecting spells and all but the most potent weapons. Sounds nasty. But is he? He's a medium construct. We go from a large to a medium. Armor class 9, hit points 93, speed 30, where the clay golem was a 20. 19 strength, that's his highest ability. Con is high too, little beefiness. The dex is low, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Damage immunity, lightning, poison, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't adamantine. Condition immunities, charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, and poison. Senses, dark vision, 60 feet, passive, perception. Senses, I already said that, sorry. Languages, understanding the languages of its creator but can't speak, so it understands. It's a little bit intelligence. But, and remember, intelligence is 6, -2. Challenge of 5, XP 1800. Again, Berserk. Now what does this guy do? Whenever the golem starts its turn with 40 hit points or fewer, roll a d6. On a 6, the golem goes Berserk. And the same thing happens. So if there's anyone within his range, let me see if I read it right. Yeah, if there's anyone near his range, he is going to go Berserk. The golem's creator, if within 60 feet of Berserk golem, can try to calm it by speaking firmly, using persuasion check. Well, there you go. The creature is a little bit more intelligent than the other one. So if the check succeeds, the golem ceases being Berserk. If it takes damage, while still at 40 hit points or fewer, the golem might go Berserk again. So aversion to fire, the golem takes no fire damage. So there you go. It has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the end of the next turn. There you go. Lightning absorption. It absorbs lightning, takes no damage, magic resistance. Golem has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Magic weapons, a golem's weapon attacks are magical. So, the slam attack, a +7. Not as dangerous as the other one, but 2d8 +4, still bludgeoning damage. And if you look at this construct that's made of flesh, kind of looks like a zombie. Kind of like the Lord of the Zombies. Just remember that for your descriptions. So, here we go. What is the good, the bad, and the ugly? The good. The good about this flesh golem you have magic resistance, lightning absorption, and when he goes berserk, if you're the creator, you can calm him down. But if his hit points is pretty low, it's going to be dangerous. So be careful if you're the creator of this construct. So magical items or weapons, their magic. Golem's weapon attacks are magical. Another good thing. His condition immunity and damage immunities are very good. He can sense dark vision 60 feet. Another good thing. He can understand language. That might be good. If you're the creator, it's good for you. If not, no. What's the bad thing? Armor class is 9. Hit points, decent, 93. For a challenge rate of 5, 1,800 experience. The other one had a challenge rate of 9, 5,000 experience. So you go from a badass to a heh. So if you get a heh, then this guy might be easier to kill. But with his resistance, makes him a force to be reckoned with. His highest ability is strength. His lowest is charisma. Dexterity is horrible. But speed is still 30 feet. So if you're going to use the flesh golem, he can be a force to be reckoned with. Again, strategy is the big deal here. So if you're in a combat map, if you have this golem, make sure you have your cleric, your mage, your fighter, artificer, whatever type of deal you have with your party, make sure that you have balance. You have good balance, you're going to take out these creatures. So what do I give them? I give the first one I reviewed, the clay golem, I give him an A+. The flesh golem, I give him a C+. And the reason why I give him a C+, even though he has a little bit of speech, it's because there's a lot of issues with him. Granted, he has these resistances, but there's still, his armor class sucks. A 9 is pathetic. For a high challenge rating, no. A 9 is very doable, especially if you have, even if you have a lower level of party. If your party's average level is level 3 or 4, they can take out this medium construct, this flesh golem. Okay, let's move on. The iron golem, the mightiest of golems. The iron golem is massive, towering giant, wrought of heavy metal. An iron golem's shape can be worked into any form. Through most are fashioned to look like giant suits of armor. Its first can destroy creatures with a single blow, and its clanging steps shake the earth beneath its feet. Iron golems wield enormous blades to extend their reach, and all can belch clouds of deadly poison. Wow. An iron golem's body is smelted with rare mixtures through other golems bear weaknesses inherent in their materials and power of the elemental spirit bound within them. Iron golems are designed to nearly invulnerable. Their iron bodies imprison the spirits that drive them, are susceptible only to weapons imbued with magic or strength of adamantine. So remember, we're using iron golem. Okay, a large construct. This guy is a beef. He looks like a robot. Basically, he's a large construct. He's all metal. He is a robot. It looks very metallic. Almost looks like a transformer almost. So, armor class of 20, hit points 210, speed 30. The highest ability is strength of a 24, massive. The lowest is charisma, which is a 1, and then followed by intelligence, dexterity, and then wisdom. That's obvious. Damage immunities: fire, poison, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. The condition immunity: charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, or poisoned. Dark vision: 120 feet, passive perception 10. Understands language of its creator but can't speak. Challenge rate of 16, 15,000 XPs. Wow. He absorbs fire, gets his hit points back. Immutable form: the golem is immune to any spell or effect that would alter its form. Magic resistance: the golem has advantage on saving throws against spells and magical effects. Any attack by a golem's weapon is magical. Poison breath: on a 6, he exhales this poison gas. You got to make a con save of 19. If not, you take 10d8 poison damage. If you fail, you take half. If you make it, you take half. If you fail, you take the full. Whew, got those mixed up. Anyways, this construct is a force to be reckoned with. Before I give him the score, Iron Golem, let's look at his weaknesses. Not much. He is a beefy bastard. Armor class 20. Nasty. Hit points 210. Nasty. Speed 30. Again, the only thing I see here as a weakness would be his low wisdom, charisma, dexterity, and intelligence. As far as that's the weakness. The good. What's good about him? Everything. His poison breath. His sword attack. 3d10 plus 7. His slam. 3d8 plus 7. Beautiful. Gets 2 attacks, melee attacks, which are dangerous. He absorbs fire. Immune to any spell or effect to alter its form. Magic resistance. Advantages against spells. The bad. What's the bad? Again, the bad, I said this earlier. Charisma, wisdom, intelligence. I did say dexterity. Dexterity is low too. So he's slow. That's his weakness. What else here? The ugly. What makes him really bad? What makes this large construct bad? I'd say his dexterity. His slowness is his disadvantage because he has normal speed of 30 after he moves, and he's slow. That's it. But he has no range attack, and his reach is 10 feet. So I'd say, strategy-wise, long range attack. And if you're going to go up to him, you got to hit him hard. Make sure you have an Echo Knight, you have a Ranger, you have some form of attack that can hold him, like a hold monster. Maybe hold him there so he won't move at all. Those things. But again, he has advantage on magical attacks. But you kind of hope by doing this that he doesn't, that he gets bad rolls, and that's the way you could bring him down. That's what I would do. Again, your party makes a difference. Let's move on. Last but not least, the Stone Golem. The Stone Golems display great. Before I read, I almost forgot. Okay, so I want to give this Iron Golem an A+. He is amazing. Okay, here we go. The Stone Golem. Stone Golems display great many shapes and forms, cut chisels from stone to appear as tall, impressive statues. Though most bear humanoid features, stone golems can be carved in any form the sculptor can imagine. Ancient stone golems found in sealed tombs or flanking the gates of lost cities sometimes take the form of a giant beast. Like other golems, stone golems are nearly impervious to spells, ordinary weapons. Creatures that fight a stone golem can feel the ebb and flow of time slow down around them, almost as though they were made of stone themselves. Okay, so large construct. Armor class 17, hit points 178, speed of 30. Look at his abilities. Highest strength, the lowest you want to go with charisma. Second highest, 20. Second lowest, dexterity, and then wisdom, then intelligence. Oh, second lowest intelligence, wisdom, and dexterity. Whatever, dexterity, wisdom. Either way, they're very low stats. Strength is his highest ability. Damage ability, damage immunity, poison, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, non-magical attacks that aren't adamantine. Condition immunities, charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, and poisoned. Dark vision, 120. What does that mean? You can see in the dark. A little bit of grayness, but shades of gray, but you can see. Understand the languages of its creator, but can't speak. Challenge rate of 10, 5,900 XPs. Immutable form, the golem is immune to any spell or effect. Magic resistance, same thing. Magic weapons, anything he attacks with is a magic weapons for this golem. 2 slam attacks. Plus 10 to hit, massive. His reach is 5. 3d8 plus 6, bludgeoning. Slow. On a 5 or 6 on a 6-sided, he targets a creature within 10 feet. Each target makes a DC 17 wisdom saving throw against this magic. On a failed save, a target can't use reactions. Its speed is halved, and it can't make more than 1 attack on its turn. In addition, the target can take either an action or bonus action on its turn, not both. These effects last for a minute, which is 1 combat round. No, more than that, I'm sorry. These effects last for 1 minute. A target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effects on itself and on a success. So, what's the good about this stone golem? Because there is a lot of good in this stone golem. You have armor class 17, hit points at 178, the power slow. Again, you have to roll 6-sided. Doesn't mean that when you roll, you're going to get a 5 or a 6. But if you do, your target is going to be slow. What does that mean in DM talk? In D&D talk? Your speed is halved. Remember that. And you can't make more than 1 attack on your turn. In addition, the target can't take either an action or bonus action on its turn. That's massive. That's very good. His slam attack is very powerful. 2 attacks, 3d8 plus 6. His resistance to magic gives him advantage. Those are the good thing about the stone golems. What do I see? The bad and the ugly. Well, if you look at his abilities, the ugly would be his dexterity, wisdom, and charisma. If you have a spellcaster that can take him out, again, a move. Don't make a move. If he is slow already, if you could hold him like a hold monster, you can really, really cause some damage. But remember, any magic used against any of the golems, they have resistance, which means all saving throws, they have advantage. And advantage means, well, they get to roll, and they roll twice, and it's advantage. So out of those 2 dice, they're going to take the higher one. So what does that mean for you? It means one thing and one thing only: a lot of trouble. Okay, so on a 5 or 6, It recharges the slow. I've already said how good that is. There's not a lot of bad with the Stone Golem. The Stone Golem and the Iron Golem are a force to be reckoned with. If you're dealing with this in your campaign, and as a DM, you have him as a bad guy, as a big bad, know that the party is going to hate you. It's just one of those things that these things are pretty challenging. Challenge rate of 10, 5,900 XPs. It works well. I think he's great. I'll give him an A+. He's great to use. But remember, the party is not going to like him because of how many advantages this construct has. Anyways, that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you for watching, and DM Talk is coming at 11:45. I will see you guys in about 15-20 minutes, and I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central for the continued episode, Season 2. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.